Good evening, ladies and gents. World Congress of Pakistanis has organized a lovely pre-Christmas meet and greet dinner with Pakistanis, eminent Pakistanis in Britain, with our lovely British friends here at Westminster, actually Methodist Westminster Church Hall, right in the Westminster area. As you can see, people are buzzing, they're all smiles, they're sharing happiness, there's Christmas in the air. There's a lovely dinner about to start in a bit. We'll show you the highlights of tonight and we'll take some comments as well, people, how they're thinking. So stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. We would like to start the function now. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the great Methodist Church to celebrate Christmas. Christmas, like Muslim Eids and Rosh Hashanah, is part of human heritage. Its message of hope, love and peace to all is as universal as mankind. Christmas, Rosh Hashanah, and Muslim Eids are enduring cultural traditions celebrated globally. We at WCOP believe that the great British society, though diverse in terms of faith, culture, and social customs, is the most cohesive and connected structure in the developed world. WCOP would like to share this message of hope, love, and peace. Good cheer to all. We at the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis aim to transform the outlook of British Pakistani diaspora and its discourse by bringing to the fore our shared worldview. We believe that we have the commitment and the capacity to deliver the difference by bringing together a joint British-Pakistan enterprise to be the future hub for commercial, economic, and socio-cultural transformation.
Christians and Muslims to rethink their relationships, since our world is threatened by militant atheism and aggressive materialism and consumerism. In fact, it is on the verge of destroying humanity. And how can we stand aloof and watch this spectacle of destruction? Christians and Muslims together constitute 50% of the world's population. We are 3 billion together. If we are at peace, the world is going to be at peace. With so much in common, why can we not work together? How can we narrow us and them gap? And I think that is the real challenge, narrowing this us and them gap. If 22 or 24 countries of the European Union can be so united, despite having different languages, cultures, histories, and all that, if they can unite because of their for their economic betterment, why can't the people of the Abrahamic faith come together? And I think you'll agree with me that it's all down to the age-old problem of ignorance, stereotypes, and unwillingness to go beyond our preconceived notions of each other and the failure to recognize our commonalities. I urge my Christian friends and fellow Muslims to seek a deeper level of fellowship and understanding among ourselves so they can be true advocates of peace in a global village which is on the brink of severe conflict. As we get to know one another better, we will build trust and move beyond accusations and isolated circles and begin to make constructive actions together. This requires constant and thoughtful dialogue with the following two aims. One, understanding each other and affirming our great moral and spiritual values which we hold common. And when I say we hold common, let us be honest, Christian moral values of honesty, of courage, justice, humility, are no different from the Muslim values of honesty, courage, modesty, exactly the same. And same with spiritual values. We share them. We also recognize that our histories are very different in many ways, and of course they shape our attitudes. And my plea here is, let not our histories restrain our attitudes today. And that is the serious problem today. And we Muslims have to remember, the Mughals, the Safavids, the Mamluk, the Ottomans were no model Muslims. In fact, most of them were corrupt tyrants, absolutely. And the British and the European histories are full of those tyrants as well. Anybody who's read British history will know that every king, his hand was bloody, sometimes with his own brothers or his close relatives. So we shouldn't be restrained by our histories, what they teach. I'm not saying we should forget histories, but let us not be restrained by our histories, and let us not be, as a lot of Muslims sadly are, nostalgic. We must be very careful. We need to only be nostalgic about the Prophet's era, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, I think this is the right time to celebrate the song of the babe, the newborn Jesus. Babies babble, they make noise which is unintelligible. However, when baby Jesus speaks, it makes a lot of sense. Not only does it make sense, it is pearls of wisdom. In the glorious Quran, it narrates a story about the baby Jesus in the cradle, vehemently defending the chastity, the purity of his mother Mary, the Virgin. He said, this is Jesus speaking in the Quran, I am a servant of God. He has granted me the Gospels, made me a messenger, made me a blessed wherever I may be. Peace was on me the day I was born. Peace will be on the day I die, and there will be peace the day I am resurrected. For Muslims, Christmas is a day of peace, day of salam, really. And so this is a welcome occasion for me to also practice and that striking verse that I read at the beginning of this, where Allah says, وَلَا تَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ, which means that you will indeed find that the most friendly people to the Muslims are those who say that we are Christians, since among them are priests and monks who are not arrogant. When they listen to the glorious Quran, you will see that their eyes well up with tears because they have recognized the truth. What a positive message for the entire society and the whole of our country. And how true was this prediction in later history when Muslims and Christians did actually work together as a coherent society. And by praising the Christians here, and in many other places, by the way, the Quran actually praises the Christians. Not only its prophet, but the Christians as well. By praising the Christians, the Quran is encouraging Muslims to develop friendship and build the bridges that will narrow the us and the them gap. As a religious leaders, it is imperative that we develop friendship which grows beyond just the dialogue. So I would really like to commend and pay tribute to the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis for being innovative in organizing this dinner to celebrate the coming of Christmas. It is the day of Salam according to the glorious Quran. And I believe that such gathering will encourage many more Muslims and Christians to boldly accept interfaith harmony as a part of our daily life. And let me just give you good news. We actually can work together. We can take care of one another. We can be friendly. At one time, it was only the religious leaders who used to talk about love and care. Now, neuroscientists are on it as well. People like Professor Goldman at Harvard University has recently written a fantastic book called Social Intelligence. And his conclusion, like many other social scientists and neuroscientists, is that human beings are hardwired to be caring, loving, and good. That is the conclusion. We are hardwired. God has innately put that in us. It is just for us, for parents, and for the society now to nurture those seeds of goodness within us. And I think there is ample ingredients, both in the Gospels and the glorious Quran, which can make us go and do this work of uniting, of working together, caring and showing. So thank you very much, World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, for organizing this wonderful dinner to celebrate the coming of Christmas. And we would love to share this locally and in all over the country. Thank you very much.
The importance of Pakistan community, that we are blessed with a country who has received us as part of their family. So I think as a Muslim, there should not be any barrier. We belong to one nation and belong to one humanity. And since we are part of the society, I think we must generate and also learn many things, and many people can learn good things from the community. So we are interdependent, and we must prove in economical field, moral field, and when it comes to the religion, Muslims should be proud, and we are proud, including me, that the Christianity is part of our Islam. So I'm very happy, and I wish every success, and especially for the people who is working very hard to bring us together. And I also thanks to the Apex and their hard-working crews, and wishing you all a very happy Christmas and a very New Year. Thank you.
I think we should definitely say congratulations to Apex for another extraordinarily interesting topic. I look forward to seeing how it all turns out.
Whenever I go to these sort of gatherings, which have a nature of interfaith dialogue or interreligious relations, and a lot of people from Pakistani background, and if you allow me, Pakistani Muslims are there, I feel at home. Because back in Pakistan, I have 97% Pakistani Muslim friends, and here too. And some 35 years ago, I spent early 5 years of my life, prime time of my life, in a mosque school, in a madrasa. Mostly Pakistanis, whenever they talk about their education or whenever they say where they send their children, mostly people are very proud of being in Roman Catholic convents or church schools or cathedrals or FC college. But I must tell you that I spent early 5 years of my life in a mosque school. And the love and affection which I got from my Muslim brothers and sisters back in Pakistan, that's my treasure. All the time, it is my power, and it allows me and helps me to interact with people of other faiths and help me to overcome this whole concept of otherness. And hopefully, by this event, we will be able to overcome on it. Christmas is a festival of connectivity. It connects people. And as we Christians, we believe that God became human being. The Word became flesh, so that human beings can be connected with one another and with God. So this is very important to know and to grasp the nature of Christmas. We who live here in Britain, especially people of Pakistani heritage, what we can offer today? We here can gather, we can celebrate Christmas, but back in our country, from where we are or in Pakistan, how we can impart the happiness and joy and freedom, religious freedom, democracy, equality that we experience here back in Pakistan. This is the biggest challenge. You can send pounds, but challenge is to send prosperity. If you allow me, you can send governor, but problem is governance. Today, Christmas challenges us, really challenges us to incarnate ourselves where there is hate, to incarnate us where there is agony, pain, and where their love is needed. We should go there and to pour out from the depth of our heart the love that our both religions have taught us. God bless to you today, have a happy Christmas and a Merry New Year.
I think what is the draw for me is that this is such a big community of Pakistanis. I gather there are 3 million of them in the country, and this is an opportunity for them to come and meet all sorts of different people here in England, and we're getting the mixture of different cultures and different creeds and different commercial interests, all interchanging their experiences and their opportunities. I'm absolutely fascinated to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
Good evening and love and peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, because you are part of the human race. That is how our miraculous brains work, with these multi-sensory images and extraordinary associations. And that is the way our brain works. And the individual spoken languages like English, Urdu, Japanese, Kenyan, Argentinian, Spanish, all secondary languages. The real language is the multisensory image and association. And therefore, every individual speaks the same language, not a different language, speaks the same language. And therefore, we are the same. We are of one human exemplar, if you like. And therefore, we communicate and we are more peaceful. So I close with my thanks that you are all human beings, and that therefore peace and love is wonderful. And I am leaving this year the award that I was given of the Avicenna Award. Avicenna, the ultimate polymath, the Persian polymath. And Professor Khan inaugurated that award and gave it to me, and I pass it on this year. So I had printed out what I discovered in my birthday autobiography. This was a surprise for me, that the Avicenna Prize was given to me and that it was to be annual every year. So I will leave this, and therefore this evening, please send nominations. The Avicenna Award is for any individual around the world who believes in Avicenna, his polymathy, his philanthropy, his love, and we need nominations for this coming year's Avicenna candidate and laureate. So love and philanthropy and charity is everywhere, and we are all one of humanity.
Purely based on bringing people together, expanding knowledge, improving and enhancing creativity, and the building of the global communities who actually do believe in human beings, who do think that the human brain and mind are God-given gifts of the most extraordinary capacity. And I was invited yesterday to come here.
Do you have any message for Christmas then? It's a pre-Christmas.
I have many messages for Christmas, and that really, all that is about is love. It's about charity. It's about giftedness and gifts. It's about familial gathering. It's about celebrating life, celebrating what one truly believes in, and everybody becomes friendly. So, I mean,
well put.
And you're asking me how I am. I'm obviously extremely well. I'm very happy here. I feel a bit like a child in a playground.
Land in a way. Yeah, just behind you, like a beautiful Christmas tree.
And wonderful people here. I've actually met a number of the Pakistanis here, and Prince Ali Khan of Hyderabad. I mean, he is like a magical beacon of light and love and peace. He's an ambassador for global peace. I am also. So I can actually talk to you and talk to you.
Well, thank you very much, Tony. Thank you so much for speaking to TVapex, and wish you a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, and a very Merry Christmas for you and everyone. You.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Des, and I went to the Pakistani fashion show earlier, or rather in September, October, and it was absolutely fabulous, and I love the community spirit, so I'm very happy my friend invited me so I can be amongst the Pakistanis and the Catholics and everybody tonight, so thank you.
Good evening, my name is Filomena. I've been invited to several of these kind of events, slightly different, always with Pakistani community, because one of my best friends is a Pakistani, and they invite me to this multi-faith, if you like, because it's the Islamic and Catholic community, and both of us are Buddhists, so I think we really represent a multi-faith even more, and for a city like London, I think again we are very kind of representing London crowd, London population, if you like. So I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you.
Following on from our last speaker, who's also called Tony, I greet you as a fellow human being. That's what we were told. And I'm very pleased to be here tonight to represent the Archbishop of Canterbury. I'm even more pleased that the Archbishop of Canterbury couldn't come so I could come. He asked me to come because he's busy. As it's Christmas, he's preaching at some Christmas carol service in the City of London. So he couldn't take up your kind invitation. I've come here tonight along with a fellow Christian, Canon Yaqub Massi, who's here somewhere, and we've been working together because our diocese in Wakefield, and we've come from Yorkshire today, it's much colder up there, I can assure you, when we left than it is here, and we have to go back there tonight. Because we've been having a link with the Diocese of Faisalabad in the church in Pakistan for the past 13 years. And I've been privileged to go twice to Pakistan. And I've enjoyed both visits, and particularly the second visit, when it was a joint group of Muslims and Christians who went following an incident in the town of Gujra in 2009 when Christians were attacked. And we went on behalf of the Archbishop to visit the government and to visit local people. And my friend Musharraf, who spoke at the beginning, we went together on that visit. And Yaqub and I have been working tirelessly as part of the Archbishop of Canterbury's Pakistan focus group to keep the agenda of Pakistan on the agenda of the Church of England, because it's very close to our hearts. So I want to congratulate you as a group, the World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, for coming together. And I hope that there are many, many more things that we can do together as Christians and Muslims to support the people of Pakistan. As we've been told, it's good that you're celebrating Christmas. And if you've had any Christmas cards, my guess is that they're all pretty neat and clean and tidy. But that isn't really what happened 2,000 years ago. The birth of Jesus happened amidst much turmoil and unpleasantness in that place. And Jesus was born in a cowshed. If you've been to a cowshed, you'll know it's not the cleanest and tidiest of places. And perhaps as we listen again to the story of Christmas each year, it's good for us to reflect that the story hasn't changed, but that often we have changed. Things are very different in our own lives and in what's happening in the world around us. For it's true that 2,000 years ago when Jesus was born, it was a mess in that stable. And our world in many places is still a mess today. And it does demand that people like us stand up and are counted in order that we can try to make it a less messy place. Our generation can make a difference, and I hope that Christians and Muslims together, as we've heard, we can make a difference both here but also in Pakistan. Yaqub and I were very grateful to get some money from the Foreign Office 18 months ago to bring a group of Christians and Muslims from the town of Gujrat. Before that attack on the Christians in 2009, they had very little relationship together. We brought 3 lawyers, 3 policemen, 3 imams, and 3 Christian clergy here for a week to England, and so that they could see how Christians and Muslims live together in this country. And they have gone back, and they are now working together in that town in a way that they have never done before. So I do think actions speak louder than words. We can all condemn attacks like the recent attack on the church in Peshawar, and Canon Yaqub's just been to take much money that we'd raised amongst Christians and Muslims in West Yorkshire to help the families who were affected there. But actually we need to think of some practical ways, some practical things that we can do so that people in Pakistan can learn from the good relations that we have together here. So thank you for inviting me. I'm pleased the Archbishop couldn't come so that I could be here and can address you. Thank you very much, and a happy Christmas.
My name is Ayub Ghori. I work for an IT company, Netral Technologies. I'm really excited to be here. I believe gatherings such as this, where we can introduce ourselves, present a softer image of Pakistan, is very important. I believe we bear the identity of the country outside Pakistan. So interaction with other communities is paramount.
I would like to extend my best wishes to the British community here and the wider community on this Christmas, the great occasion. Thank you very much for all of you being here on this day. In fact, the objective of this gathering is to integrate. We are non-political. Non-political means that we work with all political parties. But we do have the same objective as they have. That is the interest of this country. When they argue to achieve the same objective in a different way, and that conflict is actually constructive and to look after the communities and the country. So we are here to integrate with this society, and the objective is to bring the communities closer in homelands and in a wider sense. For that reason, I would ask you to work together. The reason is, if you see the recent poll from Sarah Hackett's suggests that 90% of Pakistanis feel at home here. And they are actually very keen to integrate, and they are integrating. And we do have shared values. And these values are democracy, rule of law, and equality for all of us. If we work together towards these objectives, then I'm sure we will have a stronger, prosper, and better Britain for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening.
Hi, my name is Umar, and here I'm at the Christmas party dinner from WCOP. I really appreciate the initiative, the way they are bringing up the integration of both communities, the Pakistani community versus the English community, and people are really enjoying over here. I'm glad to be part of this event tonight, and everybody seems so happy. So from my end, Merry Christmas to all of you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and sat sri akal. I wasn't expected to be speaking this evening. It was thrust upon me, so I will keep it very, very brief. Can I first of all congratulate the organisers of tonight's event for bringing this event together. People from all communities, people from all faiths and none together to celebrate the great UK tradition of being a multicultural society where we recognise talent not based on person's colour of their skin or their faith, but actually what they contribute to themselves, their families, their communities and their country. And the second big thing that I think has impacted on all of us is the passing of the man who was my political hero, and I'm sure is the political hero of so many people in this room, and that's Nelson Mandela. And the reason why I mention Nelson Mandela is because actually he was the embodiment of that belief that anything is possible. He symbolised the principles of freedom, equality and justice. And we all have a task. And our task is this, is not just to commemorate his life. We shouldn't be sad that Nelson Mandela has died, but actually we should be proud and happy that someone like Nelson Mandela lived. And the challenge for all of us is to make sure we practice the values that Nelson Mandela lived by. Because we must demonstrate to everyone, people in our own beloved country of Pakistan or elsewhere that are struggling with injustice, and say to them that no injustice is too big to overcome. If anyone ever says, whether it's a child in the Gaza Strip, asking if they'll ever see peace and justice in their lifetime, reply simply, Mandela. If there's a family in Afghanistan who has lived with generations of bombs falling from over their head, asking if they'll ever see peace, give a simple reply, Mandela. If there's a family struggling to find justice in Pakistan, give them a simple reply, Mandela. And that's a challenge all of us face, is how do we make sure that Pakistan remains a fantastic country, but as a country we can all be proud to call either our own home or our mother country, a one where every child, no matter their background, can live those principles of freedom, equality and justice. Thank you.
My name is Elena Sikorsky. I am invited to this wonderful Christmas event organized by the World Conference of Pakistanis. It's a very interesting cause because I have been invited by a friend of mine and a very prominent designer, Omar Mansour. I believe that Pakistani community is a very talented community and prominent not just in the UK but worldwide. It's a great pleasure to know very many talented people and certainly to work with them. As an entrepreneur, working with a lot of emerging designer brands in the UK, I think that the Pakistani flair and the authenticity of the designs that you represent is something very unique. So I'm very pleased to be here today and I hope to meet many more talented people and work with them.
Can I start by congratulating Qamar Bhai and your whole board for the initiative in making this event happen. I know it's something that you and many others in this room have spoken about, how Christmas is actually a universal celebration, how it's very much part of everyday lives. But for you to bring so many different communities from so many different backgrounds together, I think is a real testament of the hard work that you and your board have put in. I've spoken on many occasions as to the importance of multi-faith work. We used to have multi-faith dialogue. Tony has heard me say this on many occasions, but that has to move beyond samosa and a cup of tea in a drafty church hall. It has to move to multi-faith work, actually doing things together as a community. And only tonight I've received an email of how churches and mosques are working together in West London to support homeless people during this winter period. And that's what we want to see, multi-faith action. And that action has to go beyond just the everyday practical provision of essential need that faith communities do up and down this country on a daily basis. And the reason why I think it's so powerful when a faith speaks for another faith is because there isn't the concept of self-interest. On many occasions when I speak on the issue of Islamophobia, I've said, well, I wish it was one of my non-Muslim colleagues who was raising this. I think it's so much more powerful when you are of another faith, because you're basically saying this is wrong, it is wrong in principle, and it's not just wrong because it affects me. And therefore, I'm delighted to hear of the work that Tony and your colleagues have been doing in West Yorkshire in terms of the work that you've done in Pakistan. And I know that Yaqub Bhai, who I've known for most of my life, is an incredible advocate, not just for Pakistan, but for the Christian community too. And my parents toyed with that. And when we were very, very young, and we're talking now over 40 years ago, my parents were torn about whether or not we should celebrate Christmas. Because there was this sense कि अगर हम लोग Christmas celebrate करेंगे तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हमारे बच्चों को confuse हो जाएंगे, उनको ये नहीं पता होगा कि हम क्या मुसलमान हैं या हम लोग क्या हैं यहाँ पे. So they were kind of holding on in those early days, quite confused about what they should be celebrating and what they shouldn't be celebrating. And as we got older and we started to realize that Santa Claus never came to our house, and we kind of went to school, but Santa Claus had been to everybody else's house. And my elder sister tried to reason it on the fact that we'd had the chimney breast taken out, and therefore there was nowhere for Santa Claus to come down. And then my sister on one particular evening actually left the back door open so that he would be able to come in through the back door, because he couldn't come down the chimney because we didn't have any chimney breasts anymore. My younger sister started to introduce Christmas into our lives. And she said to my father that the 25th of December is the birthday of an incredibly important person. And we need to celebrate it. And he said, well, you know, and she said, Abu Jan, do you not know that Muhammad Ali Jinnah was born on the 25th of December? Do you not feel this is a day that we must remember and celebrate and have a big festival? So that was how it was introduced. And then slowly it wasn't chicken, it became turkey on Jinnah Day. And then we decided we had to have tinsel on Jinnah Day. And we then had to have Christmas crackers on Jinnah Day. And now the cold tree and the whole thing is done. And he knew what was happening. But over time, we took him on a journey. And what was the birthday of a very special man became the birthday of another very special man. And therefore, we now feel that I think over time, he felt that he could reconcile his Pakistani identity and his British identity, his Muslim identity, and his acceptance of other faiths. And I think that takes me back to the work that I'm doing in terms of freedom of religion and belief. I've always said that the rejection of the other is usually because you feel that your own identity is under threat. If you look at the far-right extremists in this country, they feel they have to reject the other because they feel they don't have a sense of their own identity and their own belonging. But I don't think acceptance of another is actually a weakening of your identity. It's a strong, open identity that allows you to accept the other. And therefore, a strong Muslim, Pakistani, British identity that we have in our generation is much more acceptance of the other, whereas my parents, who felt their identity was under threat, found it much harder to be on that journey. So what does that represent for me today? I think what today represents is really a maturing of the British Pakistani community, a sense that they are sure of being British and Pakistani, a sense that their identities are not under threat by reaching out, and an acceptance that we have far more in common to celebrate together than we have in relation to differences. So can I say in advance a very Merry Christmas and Happy Jinnah Day. Thank you.
Hi, Anika Malik here. And I'm here because it's a good community event and we should be celebrating Christmas together. It's a festive season. And I am also here because I wanted to bring my friend Jimmy along with me. And I think it's as we all talk about community cohesion, so we have to celebrate all these events together. Over to you, Jimmy.
I'm very fortunate to be here today with Anika, and do you know why? Because yes, it is indeed about the community and community cohesion. I come, as you can see, from territorial UK, and Anika's from Pakistan, but I think it's about bringing the best of the two worlds together. It's a fantastic environment here, and I really do thank Anika for bringing me here.
Board of Governors and member of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, our most valued invited guests from different nationality, culture, and faiths, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, and on my own behalf, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing your presence and sharing your thoughts on biggest festive event of the world. The power of human touch and connection must not be underestimated. We have to learn to live together or perish like fools. For centuries, Christians and Muslims have lived together and shared the same challenges and hopes in many parts of the world. As you witnessed, Christmas is celebrated with a great festive spirit in Pakistan. This event has been hosted by Pakistanis of all the faiths and beliefs. Those who want to support World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis are welcome to join us. And I must say, I'm massively thankful to Baroness Saida Warsi, Bishop Tony Robinson, Anas Server, and other speakers for their excellent thoughts on building bridges of understanding and common grounds. I'm indebted to the member board of governors and members and executive team of World Congress of Overseas Pakistanis, as these are the people who spend their monies, invest their time, and walk extra mile to make these events happen. This bridge of understanding is built on their sweet and toll. My special thanks to ambassadors and diplomats and who honored us today. And I must not forget our friends in the media and press who reach out to you and spread message of peace and hope. A very warm Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance. God bless you all.
We have two young, very handsome, dashing brothers and their twins. And let's ask them what brings them here tonight. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello. Well, my mum from Algeria. I come from Algeria as well. She took us here because she works for the Conservative. And she came with her partner, Uncle T, and we're just mingling with other people about the Muslim religion.
Do you celebrate Christmas, or what do you like about Christmas?
I like really just the excitement of waking up in the morning and then looking forward to some presents. Just the dinner and the presents that you get.
Or maybe the Christmas tree behind you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for speaking to TVapex.
Thank you. Thank you, bye.
Andrea Gordon from EastEnders with us. Andrea, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And are you too?
Me too, absolutely fab. What brings you here tonight?
I'm here because I was invited to the WCOP dinner, Christmas dinner, which is beautiful. It's in Westminster Methodist Hall, which I've never been to, and it's fantastic. So I'm really delighted and pleased to be here.
That's fab. Are you looking forward to seeing a documentary that's been specially made for this occasion as how Pakistanis celebrate Christmas in Pakistan?
I sure am, yes. I know very little about it, so very much a surprise. So tell me a bit more about it.
हमारा क्रिसमस का मनाने का मकसद ये है कि जीसस क्राइस्ट जिसको हम कहते हैं ईद मिलाद अल मसीह के नाम से कहा जाता है। अरबी में हम कहते हैं ईद मिलाद।
तमाम पाकिस्तान के तमाम मसीहियों को, तमाम मुस्लिम बरादरी को, तमाम अक़लियतों को जहाँ जहाँ कोई है क्रिसमस की भरपूर खुशियाँ मुबारक हो। क्योंकि मैं समझता हूँ क्रिसमस हम सबका है।
a time for loving, caring and sharing. So we should take care of all our friends and relatives who really need our attention.
हर साल हम इन्हीं डेट्स में जो है वो क्रिसमस की सेलिब्रेशंस करते हैं। सब जो है वो उनको क्रिसमस का पैगाम दिया जाता है, पीस का पैगाम दिया जाता है, क्योंकि यीशु मसीह जो सुलह के शहजादे थे वो ज़मीन पर आए और उन्होंने सुलह का पैगाम जो था वो तमाम दुनिया को दिया।
ये हमारे लिए बहुत हैप्पीनेस का टाइम होता है, बिकॉज इसमें भी ऑल आर हैप्पी और घर में बहुत हैप्पीली वो होता है और घर में स्वीट्स वगैरह बनती हैं एंड इट्स अ हैप्पी मोमेंट यू कैन से फॉर एवरीबॉडी। We can have this, we are having this program over here, the Christmas concert. Wish you everybody a very, very happy Christmas.
And I wish all Christians and all Pakistanis Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year also.
I want to wish you to all Pakistanis Merry Christmas.
I would like to wish you a very, very Merry Christmas. May you all have a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. And please enjoy this season and try to spread happiness among others. Thank you.
Happy Merry Christmas. Thank you.
We want to wish you a happy Merry Christmas. We are celebrating a very huge celebration of Christmas. So I hope you will like it. Be with us.
सब मिलकर सना गाओ यीशु चरनी में आए हैं।
हमें मिलजुल के रहना चाहिए सुलह सफाई के साथ और बल्कि एक दूसरे के दुख सुख को बांटना चाहिए, ना कि उन पर तशद्दुद करना चाहिए।
There are a large number of workers in the CD are from Christian faith, so we decided to participate officially in their celebrations.
The Christmas was very meaningful for me in my life because on the Christmas time the Savior, the Jesus Christ, who sacrificed his life because of us, he born on this time, and we celebrated this like as you celebrate your Eids, and Hindus celebrate Diwalis like this.
According to Muslim belief, they also believe in Jesus Christ as Isa alayhi salam.
So this Christmas is not only for Christians, this is a festival for the whole of the community, Christians and Muslims as well.
हमारा जो खुदा यीशु मसीह है जो आज के इस दिन पैदा हुआ और वो हमें खुशी, अमन और सलामती का पैगाम देता है।